It is 299.
Okay, guys, we are going through something real quick, but welcome to the live stream. Give me 1 second, and yeah.
Hang on, let me go back to it. It is 299.
All right, give me 1 sec, guys.
769.
Going through some real life stuff here. It is up. I thought I had it up. What's that? She came down here. She found a dispute on the credit card. You might be able to hear it in the background.
I just asked my husband when it was supposed to be delivered because we haven't gotten it yet. And we looked it up and it says that it was delivered and left at our front door. And the thing that got us wondering is because we actually have security cameras around our house. And so we checked the time.
Yeah, Jordan, what was the trade? I didn't buy anything. She thought she was buying a Christmas present. It was from a scam site. She didn't go over it with me.
The delivery stamp said it's cosmetic and it was £2.
But I'll tell you guys,
We actually tipped my husband
once she's done,
the company, and the phone number doesn't even exist.
of course, she couldn't sleep. She couldn't go to sleep knowing that this was going to happen, so we're taking care of it. It was a SpiderMan, like, four-wheeler thing. Hold on, I'll show you. It was this thing. But it was from a website that was literally $10 cheaper. $10.
So I said I would just call in. No, we never received it.
So yeah,
Okay.
don't know what she's gonna do. But I'll get more into it with a regular voice when she's off the phone.
It is the item description. That's what you need. Or okay, it's a SpiderMan Marvel 6-volt supercar for kids.
So I can pull it right off of their site. It says the same thing, but
Yeah. Well, we didn't know how long it was gonna take, and that's when I just realized that we never got it, and it said it was delivered on Tuesday. It told us it was gonna be a few weeks. No, when we ordered it, it said like 2 to 3 weeks, and then we just went to check on like the status and the tracking just to see like where it was and an update, and that's when we saw that it said it was delivered.
you can tell them it's not the right city either. Not that that probably matters.
We tried, but like I said, when my husband went to call the number, it's not even real. Like,
Yeah, it goes to the yeah. Here's where she ordered it from. Just
it's past my bedtime.
So this is where she ordered it from. when you try to call this number, it doesn't exist. And then the package. Yeah, don't get me started, Tom. Add volatile option. Oh, you mean check out a trader. I thought you meant check out a trade, like a trade that you made. I don't do options, so I don't really even know what we're looking at here. But he looks to be selling something, so I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to like dive deeper. He's got a free trading group, Discord, free weekly watch list. I mean, well, I thought he was selling something. Well, it says DM me to get 75% off. Of what? Confused. What is he selling? It says it's free. I'm confused. What was the 70? Was I misreading it? New challenge starting November 1st. DM me to get 75% off. Deal ends at midnight. Of what? I'm so confused. What is he? Are you on hold? What is he doing? Do you know what he's talking about? What is it 75% off of? And what is your question? Like, just if he's legit or not? I mean, I don't even know what I'm looking at with these charts. Like, does he even... I don't see, like, entries and exits. And everything's free. Kevin follows him, so it must be legit. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't really know of a way to tell by this either, especially because I don't even know what I'm looking at. I mean, I know options are more volatile, and I know people can make that amount of money with $1,000. I just don't even understand what's 75% off. That's what I'm really confused about. I want to know what I'm getting 75% off of.
Okay.
Price will triple.
Awesome. Okay. Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Hold on one second. I'm going to see what she says. Yo, David. What's up, mate? Be right back. Maybe. Think she's hanging out.
Bye.
Okay, be right back. Yeah, I just didn't want anything crazy to be said there for a second. All right, I think we're back to normal here. So, does he seem legit? I honestly have no idea. That's pretty much Tom, because now I'm gonna go in here and just get it. But I'll just do that tomorrow. But yeah, women. Don't mean that in a bad way, but I do when it comes to certain things. But yeah, so the credit card company is going to take care of it. So at least as far as we know. But literally, let me show. I want to see if I can show it to you. Make sure this doesn't have my address on here. Not that I really care, but. So look at this, right? You see what this is? This is one of these cars. And look, even on there, it's the same thing. It even says there's no like, oh, this is like the door piece or something like this. Like it says SpiderMan Marvel 6-volt SpiderMan supercar for kids, right? So when you bring up the tracking details, it says the weight of it is 2 pounds. And it says it was left at front door 10/29/2019 3:16 p.m. Well, guess what? We have security cameras. And at my front door, it didn't pick up anything October 29th at 3:16 or any around that area at all. So somehow they got this scam worked out to where they can somehow get proof of delivery. And I don't know how, but it also makes no sense because it says 2 pounds. And let me see if I can show you one more funny thing. It lists it. I can probably crop this if I have to. Yeah, I have to crop it. So here's the category that they put it under, which I can show you this part. Just to show you that it's under here. I'll do it this way. Oops. So I can show you that it's the same thing. Let's see, how do I do this? How do I make you bigger? Size, black. Should have made that even bigger, but whatever. Okay. Oops, I don't need to save it. Copy. Or I guess I can just pull this over. So here's the purchase. Total, whatever, and then look at the category that listed it under. Like, come on. Seriously? It's listed as cosmetics. It was listed at 2 pounds, and then it says it was delivered and it wasn't. And they had the wrong city for some reason. Like, I live in Annapolis, but it was listed as Arnold for some reason. So I don't even know how they got that, but the zip code and Arnold aren't even the same, so who knows? But to answer your question, Jordan, I honestly don't know. I don't know, and I don't really have a way to tell you. But from what I can see, he's charging, he's trying to give you 75% off of something I can't figure out what. And then he has a free Discord. And he has a free newsletter watch list thing, weekly watch list. And when I click on that, it doesn't give me anything. So I don't know. You tell me. I don't think there's any harm in joining free rooms and kind of seeing what you think about them. So we'll get off of that. We'll close this. You don't need to worry about them anymore. We'll drag this up here so we have it for tomorrow. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. Sorry, cleaning up a little bit here. And all right. So how is everybody? We having a good start to the weekend? I am a little upset because this is what I get when I frickin' log in to my DOS for my broker. But that's neither here nor there. We'll use Thinkorswim if we want to go over some charting today. But what I did have to say is the reasoning of everything that happened today with switching the platform back from Sterling to DOS, just to give a quick update, was basically they were saying the reason it didn't happen today is because we were still in a position. Now, when somebody is told that they're still in a position, you might freak out and be like, what do you mean I'm in a position? Well, they don't mean a position as in like an actual, like you're in a trade with unrealized gains. What they're saying is you took a trade the day before and it's still going through the clearing firm. It hasn't cleared yet, so the position on their end is technically still open. And until that position is officially closed through the clearing firm, you technically cannot, close the account. And in order to switch from Sterling to DOS, the way that they're doing it is they completely close your Sterling account, and then they take the funds from the Sterling account once they get them from Sterling, and then they throw them into a DOS account. So basically, there's this downtime that you have to account for in order to get your account switched. And they're very misleading with that because they pretty much tell you in the email that they send you that you can trade into your current account up until the end of the month, and the first day of the new month, you can trade on the new account. So basically what they're trying to say is, okay, you're not going to have any downtime. But the harsh reality is either you cannot trade that last day of the month and possibly get everything set up the first day of the new month, or you can trade the last day of the current month, and then you're going to have 1 to 2 days of downtime to start the new month because of the clearing and transferring and all that stuff. Now, what I don't know if this is what really happens, but I would think, because I've heard stories of people switching between platforms within a U.S. broker, and they've done it all in one phone call. Like they would call up and like a half hour to an hour, they would literally be switched over to a new platform. So what I'm thinking is they take your current balance, they close the account so that you can't activate it, and they just take money and basically front that money into the new account, open it up, and then when they get the money back from the other account, there you go, right? That would make sense. So I'm a little surprised that that's not what's happening here. And to be honest, it's kind of bad practice on their end because they're losing money, right? That's 2 or 3 days that all of these people aren't trading and spending commission money on their platform. So it's a little frustrating for me and everybody else that wants to, be at least have the ability to trade. Like today, the ticker X, it couldn't have fit my criteria any better, and I totally would have been in this at the bell. So it was very annoying that I couldn't be in it. Pre-market had previous resistance here, blew through it on a ton of volume here at the open, and it just kept extending itself. On this big move, I don't like getting in on the first candle. So on the second candle, we break that whole dollar. I probably would have been in somewhere between 1305, 1310. And then I would have probably added up here around 1350. Looking to add on the other side of 1350 if we got to there, but we didn't, right? So this would have been probably one entry, one add, and then we would have got the dip down. I would have been looking for VWAP there. So it would have been a great trade, but I couldn't trade today. So it's how it seems to happen. The last day of the month got us twice with these freaking platform changes, but until we hit our goal of $25,000 or $30,000 for that matter, we won't be switching platforms again. So that's really what it comes down to, unless the PDT rule disappears sometime soon. But last time I looked at the petition thing that was going around for that, it wasn't doing too hot. I thought I had that saved, but I don't know where it went. But it didn't seem like it was gaining any traction. But who knows? Maybe we'll get that to go through. I'm like super tired today. So, consistency, guys. That's what you guys all came here for, right? We're going to go through our consistency. And by the way, Circuit Coin, a.k.a. Jonathan, nice to see you if you're still here. Thomas, I will go ahead and tell her that when I wake her up when I go upstairs. And, yeah. So, I'm literally pulling this straight from the Intensity Stockwatch scanner website, just to let you guys know. Why is this not? There we go. And this is one of the things that I had to come back and read because I kind of felt myself getting out of place, getting away from my set strategy and edge a little bit because the market wasn't necessarily providing it as much. So when I felt like it was kind of jumping out at me, I started to kind of force my trades a little bit. And you guys probably saw it at least 2 times that I can remember where I went a little hawk smash on a couple tickers where I just had a lot of tickets where I kind of fought the stock when I really shouldn't have. I didn't really stick to my strategy of the 1-1-2 and then cut if it goes high a day type strategy that I've been applying to all of my trading. And I kind of, paid the price for it. And that's kind of where I came back into the learning center here. And I was like, I need to really kind of step back and figure out why, because the first thing I did is I came into here and I noticed, I was like, I had this nice ascending trend line going here. And I know it was kind of a mental thing. I don't know why, but I let this peak right here kind of get into my head a little bit. And I kind of went through it, and then I went back below it, and then I tried to lower my share size a little bit because this is kind of when the market dried up a little bit. And I couldn't really get anything going. It was like I'd get a little bit going, then I'd have a decent, a max loss. I'd get a little bit going, and then I had this loss. So it's been very frustrating that I'm kind of just consolidating with my trading at the moment. And in my account, I was so close to hitting that $6,000 mark. I had hit it once before, right before switching over. But when I actually took my money out from over here, when I was up here at 1370, between the platform fees and the commissions at SureTrader just ate me alive. So yeah, I might have been up 1370 in my from trading, but I think I was near break even after all the platform fees and the commissions over there at SureTrader. They really eat you alive. So in reality, when I took my money out and went over to Interactive Brokers, I was pretty much break even, and then after this. I was in the negative again on my overall starting position of the $5,000 that I deposited. And then we all know about OCX. And this is kind of where I really turned things around. I found ISW. And I really started to kind of figure things out. As you can see, we were starting to make a nice curve. And then I ran into MTSI. I was like, oh, this is easy. This is really easy. All right, let's scale up. And then boom, MTSI. Of course, MTSI happened here and not when I was trading smaller size. It happened literally the second day I upped my share size a little bit, and it ate me alive. I didn't know how to lose. So we took that month off. In June, we learned how to lose. We studied and just countlessly traded in on-demand Thinkorswim for pretty much a whole month, and just learning how to lose. And we kind of figured it out. And as you can see, now when we lose, you only see these little down spots. Up here, they were, little bigger spikes, but they're not anywhere near this, right? These I get mad at now. These losses I get mad at. These are $100, $150 losses where, this was $1,000 loss. So these are just kind of little blips in the radar compared to my past, right? So if we can consistently figure out how to get our lines to go like this, when we have these little blips in the radar, it's not that big of a deal. So OCX was a 4-minute pee session by my son. That's what happened. That's back when I was still trading stupid size. I entered a position 500 shares at the bell short. I was short OCX. It popped at the bell a little bit. I added 500 shares. And it started coming down, and it was a lower float. I think it's a 25 mil float or something like that. And it was at a key support level. And my son was tugging. He was tugging on my shirt. Pee, gotta pee. And So I'm like looking at it and I'm like, oh, I'm going to hit a home run on this ticker. And worst case scenario, I come back and it's like near my average or whatever. Cause I was up $200 on 1,000 shares. So that's what, 20 cents. And I was like, worst case scenario, I come back. It's, back up near my average. So I'm thinking it's going to be like 30 seconds, like run in, help him pee, come back out. Well, it turns into like him, like turn the light on, help me with my pants. So it turned into about 4 minutes. Well, when I came back, the stock was halted up over a point. It was $1.20 above my average. It got halted on the way up. So I immediately went from thinking I was going to hit a home run trade. I was up $200, and when I came back, I was down $1,200. I was a deer in headlights. I was like, well, what am I going to do? Like I had no idea what I was going to do. And at one point, the stock kept going. It kept going up. I essentially blew up my account that day. But towards the end of the day, I got lucky because I never added to the position or anything. I didn't have the buying power. So I was letting it ride basically. And at one point I had like $4,200, I want to say, in my account at that point. And I was down unrealized like $3,800 at one point. And by the end of the day, when 3:30 came around, that's when they SureTrader throws out there like you need to meet certain margin requirements or whatever. And I was still a deer in headlights at that point. I was just kind of watching, like dazing at my computer. And they ended up margin calling. I think it was, I can tell you how many shares it was. They ended up margin calling 291 of my 1,000 shares. And then over the course of the next week or so, I just slowly scaled out of my position as it came down. Like it would kind of drop, and then it would feel like it was kind of basing out. So I would take some off, just hoping that it would come down more. But yeah, look, you can see my first entry was at 351, and then I added 416. I'm pretty sure like 370 was the key support level, like around there. And yeah, well, here, we're already in Thinkorswim. What was this? January 29th. This is what I did last time. If it'll go back that far. Yep. Yeah, I'm pretty sure my first entry was actually in the pre-market. Yeah, I think I entered like right around here on this candle. What was the first? 351. So where did I get in? Did I really get in? Maybe I got in like right here. I don't know. Maybe I added here and at the bell is when it happened. I think that's what happened. I honestly don't remember, to be completely honest. And this was before I took screenshots of my trades and stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure it was a little bit into, yeah, so we came up. I'm pretty sure I added on this candle because it was at 416. I'm pretty positive that's where I added on this pop because I remember doing that. And then this is the dive down we got, and this is, yeah, it was around 370. And I remember having the support line here, so it was 350. And this is like when he started telling me I had to pee. And I think we go down a little bit further first. Let's speed it up. Or we'll just go ahead. But yeah, so yeah, it started to go down there. And on this red candle, so I was right. It was around 370. I had originally was like, okay, this is going to go through at least like the 350. We're going to hit a home run on this one because we were in 1,000 shares looking for it to move big. And then I came back literally 4 minutes later and it was halted. So yeah, halted up here at 533. That was not a good day. Not a good day. Yeah, there was some good lessons there. I learned to never get up from my computer. And yeah, look at the commissions on this. So these were I mean, these are actually, or yeah, they were $5 because it was 500 shares. These are less than $5, so they were $4.95. But then when I was entering this trade, when I was backdating everything, this is including the $75 margin, or was it 50? It was like $50 for them having to make a trade for you or something, and then $25 for the margin required. So it was like $75 just for them to margin call these 291 shares. It cost me $75. And then on top of that, these is also included like holding a short overnight, like the overnight short fees and stuff like that. So all in all, this not only was I lost $1,250.47 from the trade itself, but then I also lost another like 10, 20, 25. So almost another $170 in commissions. So, and fees. So yeah, that was a tough one. That was not a good day. That was not a good day at all. It turned out, as the trade was happening, you're like, oh, this is going to be awesome. And then I went and took my son to pee. Didn't set a stop loss. Yeah, the fees were for holding overnight. They had like a % interest charge for holding shorts overnight. Okay, so that brings us back to what we were talking about. We eliminate that stuff, right? So I'm just going to read this right from the site. So it says, consistent active traders use a systematic approach when identifying opportunities, managing risk, and collecting profits. These traders learn to manage their emotions and have developed the discipline to follow their trade plan. The axiom of buy low and sell high, or buy fear and sell euphoria, is easy to say, but challenging in practice. Fixing the most common issues traders face is the first step, and usually a huge step toward consistency. So, identifying common and fixable errors is the start, right? If you are not consistent, you're not going to go anywhere because what you're doing is random. If you aren't consistently trading the same strategy and the same plan every single time, it's random. So if you're trading random, you're going to get random results, and you're never going to be able to pinpoint why a stock won, why a stock lost, why a stock didn't do what you thought it was going to do, or vice versa. So having a strategy that you follow 100%, the rules that you make for that strategy every single time, is how you become consistent. Because if you do it consistently every single time, you're going to get consistent results. And if there's something that's wrong, you can fix it because you are doing the same thing every time, so you can find the holes in your strategy. So the first one we have is emotional trades. As the figure above illustrates, many traders fall victim to the thrill and euphoria of the moment, entering long positions during times of great excitement and volatility. Often they buy because they don't want to miss out on perceived opportunity. The euphoria fades and the trader faces yet another loss. Understanding and managing how emotions affect your trading outcomes is a learned skill which requires practice, discipline, and rigor to master. So what's the fix for that? I mean, well, first off, this is the one that we've all seen, and I go over this all the time. If you don't have this chart, this is a little bit different than the other one. I'll show you the one that we usually look at is this one, but it's essentially the same thing. A lot of people, it's basically talking about FOMO, right? You see a stock going up. It's kind of like it's a breakout type stock, and most people are like, well, this thing could be going to the moon. A lot of penny stock plays are like this. So people will start to buy in, and they tend to end up buying into the euphoria, right? Well, that's when a lot of the smart money, they're looking to sell into your euphoria because at the top, all the smart money that was going long is already in down here, right? So they're selling up at the top into the people that are FOMOing in, as well as the people that are short selling are getting in. And so if you run out of enough buyers finally that are FOMOing into the trade, it's going to start its downside. And then how many times do you see this? It works in waves. So you buy or sell the euphoria, it starts coming down, People start panicking, and then they finally sell once they realize that the trade's obviously not working out. And then that's, they end up selling out here. And then that's usually where how many times there was a good quote that I remember hearing, and it was basically, if you have the fear that you should be selling your position, you should probably be adding to your position, or not necessarily adding, but that's normally where you should be entering a position. So if something looks really scary, the odds are that's a good time to buy. And I know, what is the Warren Buffett quote? Buy when other people are fearful, and be fearful when other people are buying. I don't. Now I'm curious. Warren Buffett. Buy when others are fearful. Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. That's the quote. Just because I was having a brain fart. And that's basically what this is, right? People are being greedy, that's when you sell. When they're being fearful, that's when you buy. So it's that it can be that simple. So let's see what it says for the fix. It says, recognize and accept there's always another opportunity around the corner. Don't force a trade because you're scared of missing out. Now, even I have been doing that a little bit lately, but I feel for different reasons than what this is talking about, which still isn't an excuse, but it's just the truth. Keep a trade journal to recognize and review the role your emotions play in your trading. And then obviously you guys know I keep a journal, and I couldn't stress this enough that it's very important to keep a journal. Every day when the bell rings in the afternoon, I go back, I take a screenshot of my chart, and I go back through my trades. I look at it. I ask myself, why did I get into this trade? I ask myself, do I think it was a good trade? I ask myself, is there anything that I could have improved while making this trade? Obviously, hindsight's 20/20, but I try to think of when I was in the trade. And that's why I started recording my trades to begin with, before the YouTube channel even started. And that's kind of how we ended up here with the YouTube channel, because it was a lot easier way to store my trades. And then it kind of turned into, hey, let's try to help others in the same process. Let's make this a community and try to grow together. So that was kind of how that happened. That was kind of the backstory of how the YouTube channel happened. But by recording your trades and seeing your face, seeing your reactions as a trade is happening, it's very valuable information. So if you can do that, I highly recommend it, because you'll learn a lot more than just at the end of the day going back and just trying to remember what you were thinking while you made the trade. By watching the video back, you can basically see it, right? And you can't lie to yourself if you can see it. Whereas if you're just thinking back, you're like, yeah, I think that's what I was thinking. How do you know for sure, right? But if you're seeing it happen, you can be like, oh yeah, that's what I did. And there might be some times where you might have entered something into the montage and you just didn't click it, that you forgot about that throughout the day because it never happened. But if you see it happened in the video, you could write that down in your journal and be like, okay, well, why did I think I should do that, but then I didn't? Like, you can really break down your trades if you haven't recorded. It's a very good way to do that. It's very true. What's up, Mr. Lincoln? I haven't talked to you in a long time. Not since our interview, actually. How you been? So, on to the next common error is random trades. And we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier. Many traders succumb to the perception that they have to be trading to make money, or just place trades out of boredom. This leads them to a vicious cycle of taking trades without a reason, basis, or edge, a high probability outcome resulting in random outcomes. Consistent active traders understand they should only take trades that strictly conform to their trading rules and system. Let's expand. Now, this is something that I used to do very well. And to bring my chart back down, when we had this nice climb here, I was only trading my setup. Right? I was only trading my setup, and people would be like, oh, I had people DM me and say, you're a boring trader. You need to up your size and all this mumbo jumbo. Right? And I didn't disagree with the up in the size part, but that will come, right? As long as we are being consistent, right? We have to be consistent. That's the motto here. If we're being consistent and we can keep this line steadily going up, eventually we're going to get to the point where our account is ready to handle an upsizing, I guess is the best way to say it. We can use more share size. So until we get to that point, we have to learn to be consistent. So the other thing was that you don't have to trade, right? People can say you're a boring trader. They can say whatever they want. But guess what? Day trading is boring. If you are here just looking to trade over and over again, go to the casino. You can do the same thing there because that's all you're doing. You're gambling, right? You might think that you're trading the right setups all day, like you're trading support resistance or something like that. But you can really start to get it down. You can really start to find what the A+ setups are. And that's the beauty of the market. I relate the market to poker a lot. And one thing that I can tell you is the market, you can get dealt pocket aces pretty much every day at a specific time frame and play it the way that you want to play it, right? Now, if you go to the poker room, you could sit there for 8 hours and never get pocket aces. Never, right? And on top of that, are you really going to sit there and only play the top tier hands? No. And on top of that, sitting at the poker table, you have blinds, you have the rake. So even if you just sit there waiting for pocket aces all day, if you sit there for 20 hours waiting for pocket aces and you finally get it, by the time you get it, if you sat down with, say, $100 and the blinds are 1-2, you're not going to have any money left, right? Well, with the stock market, every single day you get these A+ setups, the pocket aces setups, and you can just sit there and trade it, put the amount of money that you want to put into the middle with your pocket aces, and as the trade's happening, the flop, if it's good, you can either add to your position or just be happy that you're in a good trade. The turn in the river as the trade keeps going on, like those things happen, and you basically are almost doing the same exact thing. If the hand's still good, you add more money to the pot, right? You're basically betting, I have the best hand. Let's add some more money to the pot. So that's how I relate this to poker. Whereas in poker, now think about it. At any given time, you can kind of pull your money back from the market. Whereas in poker, if you kind of realize that you're beat, all the money that you've already put in the middle is just gone. So that is kind of a little bit of a different thing, because you can have pocket aces set up in the market and it kind of started going your way and you're like, okay, this is nice. But then you started to realize around your break-even point that, okay, this isn't really going for me. Well, you can just pull out and you didn't really lose any money. Where as in with poker, if you like get into like a 4-bet pre-flop and, you get a really bad flop, really coordinated suited flop or something like that, that could really screw your hand over because now your aces aren't looking so good. But your money there is already invested and you can't get that back. So there are some differences and this is why I always say that the market is better than poker because there's so many more advantages. And in such a small time frame, every single day you can wake up and you can basically pick and choose these setups, right? So if you always have an A+ setup available, that's what you should be trading. And if you don't, think of it as 2-7. As your hand, or like 5-10, just some random crappy hand that if you were dealt it in poker, you would toss it into the muck pre-flop. There would be absolutely no reason for you to trade it. And that's where the random trades, that's what I'm associating those with. There's no reason to play those hands in poker. There's no reason to play those hands in the market, those setups in the market. So, and I'm assuming that's going to be what the fix is here. I just kind of gave it to you. So the fix is to eliminate random trades. Identify your trading strategy and have the discipline to exclusively take trades that fully conform. Review and learn from your trades and critically evaluate your performance. Basically what I said, right? And I just gave you a really good example if you guys understand poker at all. Because it's true. How can you decide whether you should trade a setup or not? Well, does it fit your criteria? Is it your strategy? Is that your edge in the market? If it is, then yes, you can trade it. But if it's not, don't force yourself. Cash is a position, and you need to learn to be consistent with that. If you can consistently not trade setups that aren't your edge, that is just as important as trading the ones that are your edge, right? So I always tell everybody too, one of the more recent things that I came across one of the most important things that you can do, looking back at OCX and MTSI, is knowing how to lose. Learn how to lose. That is way more important than winning, right? Because everyone can win and you can take profits early and stuff like that. You also have to learn how to win better. But learning how to lose is the most important part. Preserving your capital, not blowing up, not becoming a deer in headlights. That's why I always say with your strategies, you need to know the what, if, ands, and buts about your strategies. So that's what it really comes down to with the random trades. You need to just get rid of them. They random trades equal random results. It's that simple. So on to the last one here. It just says rules, who needs them, right? Many traders fail to plan for all possible outcomes. And it's funny. I actually hadn't read this again since the last time I read it, but maybe it's so ingrained in my head. I'm just kind of reading it from memory. Even the best opportunities, setups, rumors, etc. have the potential to go against your position. Just to stop real quick. How many times have you been watching like earnings or something and you see the earnings and it sounds good, reads good, and the stock just like it tries to pop up and then just tanks, right? What happened? How many times have you seen like these penny stocks? Oh, we got phase 3 data. We cured cancer. And it like skyrockets for like a couple minutes and then just tanks. Like just because you hear good things and all this crap, it doesn't mean that the market is going to respond that way. It doesn't, just because it has good news doesn't mean it's going to respond to the upside. Just because it has really bad news doesn't mean it's going to just tank to zero. Like that's not how the market works. And a lot of that, I'm not even going to get into the penny stocks. That's a whole different story. So traders who fail to have rules designed to protect themselves from unfortunate outcomes are exposing themselves to unknown, potentially catastrophic risk. OCX, MTSI. I mean, OCX, that was just me being an idiot, not having a stop loss, but it just goes to show you how quickly a trade can go against you. And the same with MTSI. I didn't know how to lose with my strategy. I didn't. So I sat there and fought that thing. I was like, well, I'm not going to lose if I just keep, adding to my position and, just balancing it out until it finally comes down. Well, guess what? It never came down. Not until after I got out of it. So when appropriate, your rule set should also be designed to protect your account from your emotions. And there's actually a guy on Team ISW who he'll tell you that he thinks he's stupid. Like he will just straight up tell you, I'm a stupid person. And so he will tell you that he has sticky notes like these. He has like a full page paper that's just hanging right next to him with all of his rules. And the reason that he has all of those rules is because he knows in order to be profitable, he needs to follow his rules. Because if he doesn't follow his rules, he's going to blow up. And he has blown up. I don't know if it's been 3 times. I want to say it was either 2 or 3 times. And it's always because he breaks a rule. It has nothing to do with his strategy. His strategy has been proven to work. But it's when he breaks his rules that it goes from being a minimum loss to a blow up. Because say instead of like my 112 system where I enter, add, final add, starts to come down, consolidates, and then goes higher, we cut it high a day, right? That's the strategy. Well, now imagine that same strategy, 112, and then it consolidates, goes high a day, and kind of, shoots up through high of day. And instead of cutting there at high of day, we just let it go. And then now we hit it for 2 again. And then it kind of consolidates and goes higher, and then hit it for 4. And so we're trying to basically double down, looking for this thing to come back down. It starts to consolidate, comes down a little bit, doesn't come down low enough for you to really get out of any shares, goes higher. And now it just starts grinding. Does this remind you of MTSI at all? And guess what? Before you know it, you're in with way too big share size, and this stock just does not want to come down. It's either being held up, the market maker's playing with it, there's a big firm that's just kind of buying into it, that's kind of holding it up. We don't know why it's doing it, but guess what? It's doing it, and now you didn't follow your rules, and where did it say? Potentially catastrophic risk. Like that's what you're doing to yourself. So it's really that simple. So what's the fix for this? write your rules down and strictly obey them. Having rules and enforcing those rules is the responsibility only you can perform. So I can sit here and tell you, like it says, I can sit here and tell you to do this all I want, and you might think it's a good idea. But until you actually do it, it doesn't mean jack shit. You guys, unless you put this into action, me sitting here telling you all these problems on how to be consistent and basically giving you the fixes for them, at least what we think are the fixes, until you apply them to yourself and your trading and your emotions, it's not going to work. So if you're here to actually learn something, just take away the main things, like write down emotional trades, write down random trades, write down rules, who needs them, right? At the bare minimum, do that. At the best, come back and rewatch this, or come back and, type this out. One of the best things you could do, come back, look up at here, take a pen and a notepad and write this out. And then as you're writing it out, think of examples from your past of when you traded. Write them out, right? Remember a time when you made an emotional trade, when you FOMO'd into a trade, right? And look at the chart. Look at it and remind yourself of how stupid that chart looks. Like, why would I, look back at it and think, why would I ever get in there? It makes no sense, right? That's why keeping this journal, I've went back in on demand as far as I can with some of my trades, and I will look at where I entered into these trades, and I'm like, what was I doing, right? So you start to learn these things, and by doing that, you start to gain confidence. And by gaining confidence, it starts to help with your emotions. So it all kind of snowballs into the right direction, and experience will do that. With the random trades, again, as you're writing that down, think of a time you took a random trade just because you were bored, or because there was no A+ setup, so you took a C setup because you're like, oh, this is kind of what I'm looking for, but it's not exactly what I'm looking for, but I haven't traded today, so why not? Let's give it a try. No, that's not how it works, because it's a C setup for a reason. It's probably like a 50-50 instead of something where it's usually like an 80-20, right? You're so used to playing where you win, the ones that are prime setups, that you win 80% of the time per se, that now just because you're bored and didn't take a trade today, you're going to trade a 50-50 trade. Why? Go put it on black at the casino. That's basically what you're doing. Don't do that. You want your strategy and your edge. You want your edge to be there every single time. Because if it's not, just preserve your capital. Don't take the chance. We're here to make money. We're not here to just trade for fun. And if you're here to trade for fun, just do it on paper and go work a normal job. We're here to try to figure out how to let the market, provide the money, the financial freedom of, for whatever reason you're here. So that's what this is all about. And then rules. We all have rules. No matter what your rules are, make sure they're written down. If you have them written down on a bunch of sticky notes, write them all down again on a single piece of paper, just to do it, just to really start to ingrain them into your head, because you might look at those sticky notes every day, but there might be a rule over there that every time you just look over that sticky note, you just kind of glance over it, right? You don't really remember it. And it might be the rule that's holding you back that you don't remember. So if you sit down and rewrite all those rules out again, maybe you'll be like, you know what? I haven't really thought about that one in a while. And maybe that's been the issue all along. Who knows? Who knows what the real problem is? And if you're killing it right now and you're being consistent, sit down and try to figure out why. What are you doing right now, right? Write down what you're doing right now so that you can come back when you're having a rough patch and see if you're doing something different, right? Doesn't that make sense? And that's exactly what I've been doing pretty much the past month. I've been going back and watching all my videos from that streak that I was on to see what I was doing. And it was exactly what I thought it was going to be. I wasn't trading just the A+ setups. I started kind of jumping into some trades that were very iffy on my rules. I wouldn't say they were C setups, but they were probably like B- setups. But they weren't the A+ setups. I was so focused on just trying to get a trade every single day, 2-3 trades sometimes, that I wasn't sitting back. If you guys remember, during that time, there was days where I didn't trade. I would make a video probably 2, sometimes 3 days a week where I wasn't trading, just because my setup wasn't there, but I was so consistent with my gains throughout that time, as you guys could see. So that's what I'm going, that's what I'm going to go back to over the course of this next month, is I'm going to focus on getting back to my roots of the consistency, right? Because and people are saying, if you're looking to make $20 a day, $25 a day, $50 a day, whether you're trying to make $50 a day or you're trying to make $1,000 a day, it's all relative, right? It's all account size. Everybody's risk tolerance is a little bit different. But what it comes down to is if you can consistently make $50 a day, you can make $1,000 a day, because all it is share size. That's the only difference. And this actually brings me to another point with poker, is in order to make, say, $50 a day at poker, you can play the 1-2, 1-3 game or whatever you want to play. But to make $1,000, you kind of have to step it up a level. And guess what? When you start stepping up levels in poker, this isn't always true necessarily, but you're going to start playing higher skilled players, right? Where in the stock market, you're always playing the same people. You're always playing the big institutions. You're always playing the retails, the penny stock traders. You're always playing the same types of people. The market's usually going to react the same way in most cases to all stocks. Obviously, there's always ones like being traded by algos like AMD and the SPY and all that stuff. But what I'm getting at is if you're trading pretty much any type of trading, it doesn't really matter. If you have an edge and a pattern and a strategy that works, and you have rules for that, if it works, right? Get consistent with it. The best advice I can give anybody is to find one strategy that has your edge in it. Whether, you can say edge strategy, they're kind of the same thing, but you should have an edge and then build a strategy around it. Perfect it. If you're new, just one setup, one edge, one strategy, perfect it, right? If you can make money consistently with just one strategy, why wouldn't you do it? Why do you need to have 5, 7, 10 strategies? Sure, you can do it, because if one strategy is not working, you can trade another one. But if you're not 100% consistent with each of them, then all you're doing is hurting yourself, right? All you're doing is basically making random trades at some point, because you're going to get so focused. I'm not saying this is for all of you, but if you're new, the odds are if you try to trade even just like 3 different strategies, you aren't going to be consistent with them. You're going to be most likely trading them different every single time. You're going to have the same idea behind it for each one of them, but once you get into the trade, it's going to do something different every single time. Now, have you experienced what you would do if it goes high of day, when it goes low of day, when it consolidates, when it gets halted going up, when it gets halted going down? What are you going to do in all of these situations? You don't know. You haven't been there yet. That's why I say just do one strategy. Find one proven strategy to yourself. Not that somebody else found. It can be one that somebody else found. It can be whatever you want it to be. As long as it's profitable and it's consistent, that's what matters. And then just master it. Just master that one strategy. And then once you've proven that you can make money on that one, that can be your bread and butter, then you can start to expand out into a second one and then do it all over again. And now as you grow, not only are you getting the experience in the market, you have a proven profitable strategy, you can make a second one. And then now you have 2 strategies that are working. And then eventually you can add a third, and then you can add a fourth. And then you really don't need to add that many. I mean, I think if you have 3, maybe 4, and I would say 5 at the max, that's all you're going to need. You're going to find one of those 5 every single day, right? So that's how I feel when it comes to that, as far as consistency. It's really all I have to say about it. I don't really know what else I can say about it. It's just, it basically comes down to the acronym of KISS, right? Just keep it simple, stupid, right? I'm not calling you stupid, but I'm just saying that's kind of the saying. Does anybody have any questions about anything that I've said? Because I'm going to cut that off right there. I feel that I've said everything I need to say. I feel like I really kind of got it all in there, and I really feel like I hammered the point into the nail, whatever you want to call it, into the board. We made a house tonight. We made a house. And on top of that, my wife got her money back, I think. So Any questions? If not, I'll assume that everybody enjoyed it because nobody really left throughout that. So hopefully we learned something. Anybody have anything to add? Anybody think that there could be something as far as consistency goes that I may have missed?
All right.
Jeremy Robinson, welcome. Welcome to the channel. Mr. Lincoln, I guess, didn't want to talk to me anymore. Did my chat cut out, or are you guys talking to me and I just can't see it, or were you guys just focused? Were you guys focused? I like it. But now I need you guys to talk. Hit the refresh button. Get that 733. You guys are awesome, by the way. For 750, by the way, we're gonna do 2 weeks of the Intensity Stockwatch scanners with the chat rooms. So if you guys are interested in that, I'll have a giveaway video for that coming up when we get closer to 750. So hopefully, being optimistic, by the end of next week, I'll look into making that video. Screenshot this, guys. That's another way. I would just sit here. I would screenshot this. I really think that would be really good for you guys to go back and just take a pen and notepad. Just write this down. Just rewrite this. It'll really kind of hammer it home. It'll let you guys know what you guys need to look for as far as becoming consistent, because consistency is number one. It is the number one thing in day trading. If you can't be consistent, then it's going to be a really tough journey. But if you can learn how to just start small, even if you have a $25,000 account, try to make $25 or even $50, or I was going to say $50, but I was going to say you can even just make go for $25 a day. Once you're consistently making $25 a day, go for $50. There's no reason just because you have a $25,000 account to try to make $500 a day or $1,000 a day. It makes no sense. If you're new, why would you want to put your capital at risk like that without even knowing if you're a profitable day trader yet? Because I can almost say with absolute certainty that 99.5% of us when we first start are not going to be profitable. I'm sure there's always going to be some God out there that just gets it right from the beginning, but for most people, that's not going to happen. You might think from watching people on YouTube, myself included, Ross Cameron, Clay Trader, Ricky Gutierrez, I'm just thinking of all the big gurus out there, that just by watching their videos, okay, they explain their strategy, that you can just go and trade it. Well, guess what? That's not how it works. You might get the same entry into a stock as them, but once you're in that trade, you don't know what to do. So, and when they're in the trade, they're going to be making their decisions, and you're not going to be able to emulate their emotions. You're not going to be so take, for instance, they get into a trade and it starts going in the right direction. Are you going to keep holding that trade like they are? Or are you going to sell because you're just happy? Holy crap, I'm making money. And you're going to click, sell. And guess what? You're out of the position. That thing goes another 2 points up without you. And then that's when he gets out, right? So he's making the money there where, yeah, sure, you made a little bit of money from following him, but now you don't even understand why he stayed in the position to begin with. So that's really what it comes down to, is learning. I'm going to hit refresh because I really think that something's not right. No, you guys just aren't talking to me. Sad face. But it really comes down to you guys really, guys and girls. Thanks, Tom. I just wanted to make sure it was working. I didn't understand what was going on there. I just want you guys to understand that it really comes down to, if you want this to work, it comes down to hard work and dedication, just like anything else. Making money in the market will be a byproduct of your hard work and dedication. And the first year, at least the first 6 months, you should only be concentrated on breaking even. Like, figure out how to be a break-even trader. Figure out how to not lose. Figure out how to lose less, right? That's the goal. Figure out how trading works. Like, start to see the market, experience the market. I do try to compare it to college, right? You're not just going to go to college and just immediately know everything. You got to study. You got to read books. You got to go to class. You got to pay the tuition. Like, you have to do all those things to learn. Starting a new job. You're not going to go to a new job that you've never had any experience in before and just know it the next day from watching a couple videos. Sure, they might tell you how to do everything, but until you actually go do it for a while, you're not going to actually be good at it. It's no different. This is no different. So people need to stop thinking that they can just walk in here and just hit buy or sell and then hit buy or sell again and they make money. Like, it is that easy, but figuring out when to do those things is the important part, right? That's what we all aim to do. And one of the best things you can do is learn how to be consistent. Consistency is number one. Constantine, good morning, man. How are you doing? It feels good to finally have a race in F1 on our time and not some crazy European or Asian time. Circuit de America. Thomas, if you're still here, which one are you talking? I don't know what you were asking. I saw your message in Discord. So that's going to be my talk there about consistency, guys. In my opinion, it's not making the money. It's learning to lose the money in small size and get used to that, then up the size and learn to lose at that level. So true. I agree 100%. That's kind of what I was trying to say. It's just a different way to put it. Learning how to lose is much more important than learning how to win. Because like I said, everyone's gonna win, right? If you're in this long enough, you're gonna start to win. Learning how to win better is a thing. Not selling your position short, not selling yourself short for that matter. Like seeing a pattern happening on the chart and then getting out anyways just because you're unsure if it's going to actually continue to do the pattern because you have the fear of giving money back. So there's really that aspect of it as well. But when people have a tendency when a trade starts to go against them, to have the ability to let their emotions work against them and want to wait for it to come back, right? Everyone, that becomes investors in these stocks that they FOMO'd into a trade, it'll come back to that price. I just have to wait for it. Well, guess what? Some of these guys that buy into these penny stocks, even at like $1, and it goes back down to like 30 cents, it could be months, years before that stock ever gets some kind of good PR again for it to make that move back up to $1. And some people hold their positions that long. They do. I've talked to a few people that do that. And, I don't understand it. You will almost never see me hold a position overnight. The last time I did that was OCX, and I almost kind of felt forced to hold that position because it was like I knew it was a pump. I knew it was going to come back down. It was a matter of just fighting through it. But yeah, I paid dearly for that one. That was just an idiot move. I could have been in and out of that in when the bell rang, 5 minutes, and I ended up being in it for over 5 days. So yeah, and lost a lot of money. I can help you pick tops on your trades. How? I actually am pretty good at picking tops, to be honest. You held fit and it was bought out last night. You held fit on the long side? Yeah, boys, I don't mess with all that crap. RSI and MACD, it's past tense. I can tell just by looking at the chart when the RSI is either high or low. You don't need RSI on the chart to see that. The relative strength index it's just that. It's relative to what's happening. So if I can see what's happening with the price action, I can see what's going on with the RSI. Gotcha, yeah. Most people would only hold long overnight just because of fees and stuff. You're in at 631. And then, what did they get bought out at? Because I was confused because I saw this move at the earlier this morning, but then it started kind of trickling down. And usually when you get a buyout, it'll just jump up and it'll just literally go sideways, like usually right around that area, which is what it pretty much did. So if I had to guess, I'd say 716 or like 715. So I don't know. What's up, Mr. Kenobi? 2.1 billion. So I guess they took the outstanding shares or something and divided. I don't really pay attention to how all that works. Obviously, they came to a conclusion of around this area. 731. Okay. So why is it at 716? Sir Kenobi. I just hear you talking. Makes me laugh. RSI 855.34. What does that mean? RSI. Here, let me pull up RSI just out of curiosity. Let's see. Ad study. Isn't there like one where they're all studies? RSI. So I see 1470.30. I would change the settings. See, I don't even know what all this means. Let's go to X from this morning just to see. Yeah. So this is what I'm getting at. Like, I wish does this thing, can I turn vertical lines on here? Can I just draw a vertical line? No. I don't know what happened to my crosshair. It turned into just horizontal. I think I turned it off because I don't like the crosshair, but of course in this case it would help. But I mean, look, as you can see, when it looks like it's like really overbought, this is all just past tense, right? So this is kind of happening behind the move. So yeah, you can see that the move is happening, but we can already see that the move's happening with the candle bars. But here, I'll just to appease you, just because now we're in kind of the free-for-all aspect of this. Let's see, how do I don't even remember how to do this. Studies, edit studies, RSI, there we go. To 8:55. So what is this doing? Explain to me what this is doing. 34. So you're changing the length of the bars, and then you brought, I don't even remember, you brought the overbought down and moved the oversold up. Let's see. I just want to hit, I'm trying to stare at this, and when I hit apply to see what happens. Oh, so you brought this line down. Okay, I see what you did. How would that help you find the top? I'm confused. What was the top? The 8. So what's the 8 for? I understand the 55 and the 34 now. I see you are making it better for whatever. But what is the 8? What did it was on what, 11? Oh, my back. It makes it faster. So, but that's what I'm saying. What is the 8? Is it the amount of bars? Is it like minutes, second? Like, what is it? What is it? I don't even know how RSI like completely works. I'm asking. I don't know. Close. What did it say? Let's see if it tells us. The number of bars used to calculate. Okay, so it's using the last 8 bars is what it's doing. Okay, so it's kind of like a like an EMA or SMA, whatever you want to call them, use them. And then the overbought is, I obviously know what those are. So that's what I thought it was. I just wasn't sure. So it's using the last 8 bars. So if I were to change this to the 1 minute, it'll look different. Yeah, see, that looks a lot different. I mean, you get the same general principle, but, and that's the thing, is like, see how you get the steep incline? Well, you can see, you already see that happening. So like, yeah, you see it kind of dulling out, and then you get that big move down, but the move down on the RSI is happening when the move down is happening, because it's using the past. That's the whole point of this, right? It's using the last 8 bars to tell you what's going on. Now you got me trying Keltner channels. So you're going to make my map look like spaghetti, back when I used to trade with spaghetti. This is actually a good example of people using too much. All right, Keltner channels. Edit studies. And you want me to change these to what? 13? The length 13? The goal is to make it look like spaghetti. Well, yeah, I knew what RSI was. I just didn't know what the number that he was telling me to use. It didn't make sense to me. So this is basically like Bollinger Bands, right? It's the same principle. Here, let's add those two while we're at it. We'll really get this chart going. Yeah, there we go. Show me proof, boys. Show me proof. That's what we're all about here. Yeah, I didn't want to drink a balls because I'm already pretty tired, and I didn't want to like forcefully keep myself up. And you know what? Making one of them other drinks sounds pretty good right now. I'll be right back. While Boitz finds a way to show me proof. I don't want you guys to think I'm cheating like some of them other channels. I don't think this is something you're supposed to do, but I think we'll be all right. Oh, yeah, I bought a new bottle of this. Ran out of the other one. A lot of people don't understand how strong this is. This is actually... Where is it? What the heck? Oh, it's up here. I was like, holy crap. A lot of people don't know. And it's actually 24% alcohol. 48 proof. It's pretty strong for just basically adding some flavor. Final touch. I went out and got some more, by the way. No orange juice tonight. And there's a blue hurricane, and it's not black because we don't have the green screen tonight. And just to help it go down, a little piece of pizza from dinner tonight. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. It's a good thing you don't do your live stream in a thong anymore. You can see the window when you walked into the kitchen. Well, usually I'm in my boxers. I never really thought about that. Maybe I should start closing my window or the shades. Are you talking about the 821? I thought people used the 920. So just like Mr. Nice said, this I don't know if you're just trolling me at this point, Boyts, but it's very true. Studies only work if the majority of people use them. And what I always try to tell people is let's actually add let's add an EMA real quick. Where's just the that's not the one I want, but it doesn't matter. So let's just say this is the 9 EMA, right? So look at where it's going through on this time frame, right? We're on the 1 minute. Let's change it to the 5 minute. Now just watch. Look how much lower it is. See how much lower that is? So when somebody says they're using the 9 EMA, you would have to follow the question up with what time frame, right? So the only one that is the same on every single time frame is the VWAP. And that's the only reason I use the VWAP. And I've actually been recently thinking that I might stop using the VWAP. Jonathan. Yes, I'm ready. I still haven't seen proof of your 95% trading, though. And same with RSI, guys. I mean, people use it, whatever. Good for them. But it's not for me. It's telling me what I can already see that's happening. I'm only trading stuff that's overextended anyway, so I know that if I have it on the RSI, it's going to look just like this. Try to get a little stirring action in here. Okay, National Lampoon's Van Wilder. Mitch Shot, you are 100% right. Which brings me to my next point. I actually just looked to open up a swing trading account, kind of like GDT did, but I'm not doing it for YouTube. I'm just literally doing it for myself. I'm going to throw like $100 in there and just kind of mess around with swing trading. That's really just, to be honest, completely honest, because that's what we do here. We're fully transparent. I was watching Graham Stephan's video that he put out today. And at the end, he said, open up a Webull account and get 2 free stocks. And he basically said, go get your 2 free stocks, cash them out, and hey, it's free money. So I was just thinking, well, hey, I'll just go make a Webull account, put the $100 in that they asked for, get the 2 free stocks. It's a chance to up to $1,000 stock 2 times. So why not? Even if it's like $15, whatever, it's $15. So it's kind of what I was thinking. Are you using the alligator indicators? I used to use those, like legit. Here, I'll even show you what they look like. I wonder if I still have those in here. Studies, load study set. Like, look at all these. I would change them like every day. Yeesh. This isn't it. I could probably tell you what these are. This is probably the 9. Yep, this is probably the 20. I think it is. This is one that would like show you like key resistance support levels too. Let's see. Final main. Let's see what that is. Yeah, here's the alligator indicators. Look at this is what I used to trade on. I called this final main. Like, this is what I came to the conclusion. Look at all. I used to use stochastic, MACD, these PMC indicators, These little PMC arrow things. I am not creating a study of what you told me. Send it to me like already done, if you can do that. I'm not all about just putting I mean, here you go. If you want random lines on a chart, here you go. I mean, there's like the 20, the 50, the 100, the 200, the 2, the 3, the 7, the 9, the 20. I don't know why that. Oh, I can remember. I do have Instagram. It's volatility_trading. Or I can probably. Speaking of. That's OCX right there. $27, that's it? You gotta have like 30 to be legit. I just can't get enough of this. Here's my other favorite one now. Alright, we're getting a little out of hand here. I should have kept that up. Wait for your DM. You sliding into my DMs, bear? That's so awesome. They have some really good ones lately. I haven't seen any of these yet. This one was pretty funny too. It's not really trading related, but for any of you Breaking Bad fans out there. Oh, where's the there was one pretty recent that was funny. Let me see if I can find it real quick. This is the one we like. Jesus, that's loud. No, that wasn't the one. Shit! No, that wasn't it either. It was I'm having a brain fart. What's it called when you go down the zip line? It was a zip lining one. Maybe it was before that. There it is.
I came in like a rainbow. I came in like a rainbow. I came in like a rainbow.
5 minutes. There.
Wet, 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 wet.
See what happens when we get into a free-for-all? Anybody that came here for the consistency, if you're new, just go back to the beginning. Well, like 10 minutes in, because we started late. And we had a little issue with my wife getting scammed buying Christmas presents. God, these are so good. If you guys have never had one of these, you saw how easy it was to make. It's so good. I still haven't found the other one that I was looking for. They were at like a college campus. Oh, there was maybe one. Here it is.
What is going on? What the fuck is going on? What the fuck?
That's a good idea, Tom. I've been stealing my kids from last night. There's one more that I saw recently. I'm just looking for it. Hold on. I could have swore it was up here. It wasn't that long ago. This one was kind of funny, but it's not funny enough. It's not funny enough. Well, I showed you guys this one last time, right? This one last week, right? So it had to be above that. It's probably this one was funny.
All right, this is it, people. Let's move. Let's go, 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 go. All right, this is it, people.
I can't find it. Oh well. Maybe it's both. No, it's my dog. The drink is called a Blue Hurricane. Some people use vodka, but I use rum. Some people use rum. It depends which recipe you follow. And some people use like some sour mix too. But it's literally like split the cup in half, and then half of that is your rum. Half of the other half is blue liqueur. And then the other half is pineapple juice. Blue liqueur. Blue curacao. I'm getting tired. So 25% rum or vodka. I prefer rum. It tastes better. 25% blue curacao. 50% pineapple juice. One of the best drinks I've ever had. I was on vacation down in Clearwater, and I couldn't decide what I wanted. And I told the bartender, just make me something with rum that is kind of fruity. And he made that. And I was just like, you only use 3 things. That was pretty simple. And I was like, what were they? And he explained it to me just like I explained it to you. I've been making it at home ever since. That was like 7 years ago. It's my favorite drink. All right, I'm going to try to find it. Meanwhile, if anybody has any questions about anything, feel free to ask. Yeah, I remember seeing this. When I die, bury me in Louis. Bury me in Louis. The heck was that? don't think I've seen this
Hey, hi. Hi, Brendan.
Hi.
Haha.
How you doing?
Not so good.
What's in the bags?
$11,600 worth of Gucci clothes. Hey, hi. Hi, Brendan.
Jason!
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Jason!
God damn you!
Jason!
You fucking asshole!
The bear!
This fucking bear! You get off on this
Whoa,
shit, huh?
hey!
Do you want a lollipop?
Yeah, I'll take a lollipop.
These are always my favorites. That one was kind of gay, but this one cracked me up.
We're wondering if you wanted to hire us for 10 minutes and we'll do whatever you want.
I'm confused.
Yeah, we're just looking for a job.
Work like just 10 minutes.
We don't want to do the 9 to 5 thing. We
Yeah.
kind of want to do a 10-minute shift. And like,
I wish I could.
we're wondering if you wanted.
These are always hilarious. Just Just watch her head. Alright, Thomas, I'll see you later, man. I'm gonna get out of here soon. Nobody's engaging with me. I'm gonna have to start drinking this faster. And just watch this one repeat until everybody leaves. Okay, I'll stop. I wish I could filter just by those. Vincenzo, I'm sorry to hear that. How do you DM me? You go... let me go to the mobile version. I think you... Why this isn't the mobile version? What happened? Oh, because I'm not on the main page. I guess I was on the mobile version. I just took it off. Nope. Let's try this again. There we go. So for me, I go down to here somewhere. I don't know. I'm not really that big into Instagram. I thought it popped up. I know on my phone there's a little like message app down here somewhere. But this just takes me to my profile. Yeah, Twitter, that'd be much better actually. Be a lot easier. That was longer than 5 minutes, by the way. Da 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 da. Oh, you know what I can do? I could do this. While we're waiting for that. I got this cool little thing. Wonder if they'll go in order. Play this in the background while we do our little free-for-all here. Let me know how that sounds. Let me make sure it's not too loud. Put a little bit lower there just in case. Does anybody have any questions about the consistency that we did? Well, we're still kind of chilling here. Oh, that's fine. If you guys are checking out, I appreciate you guys stopping by. Friday night live stream. We had like 16 people at one time, so we're getting there. Let me go check it out. It does not say I have any new messages. Oh, I have my message on private. What's your Twitter handle? I do that just so I don't get any like random thingamajigger. He said he was looking to do that within the month, so, but that was like 2 weeks ago, so we'll see. I know he's working on it. He did tell me he was working on it. I'm assuming it can't be too hard because he already has filters for other things, so it's just a matter of, I guess, placing it on, like finding place for it, like a place for it and stuff, and just kind of making it look visually appealing and stuff. I would assume it can't be too hard to do. Are you following me, Boits? Okay. There you go. Try it now. Oh, you can actually do that. Nice. All right, let's see. View in Thinkorswim. Where is it? Do I have to actually... How do I find it? It said it saved it. Study has been saved as from A49 on November. So where is it? Open shared item. This doesn't have a link to search studies. Well, what did I say it was? Go share something, right? Me no see, me no see. I used to mess with Thinkorswim all the time with the studies, but now I don't use them anymore. It's been 7 months or so since I've used them. Let's see, click to copy. Okay, this way might be easier. I know how to do it this way. Open. Well, it did the same thing. Crap. Let's rename it Holy Grail. Studies. Add study. Keep doing it. Study. Just add. Let's get rid of all those. It corrects me that I used to use all those. Holy Grail. There it is. Look, it even has a scroll, like it's the actual. Didn't do anything. Just get rid of everything else. Didn't do anything. What's it supposed to do? On the settings. Like there's nothing in here. Go to Boolean up arrow at low. I don't see anything. There's nothing in here. Let me see if I... From A49. Let's try that. From A49. Let's try this one. So the same thing. Change numerical to Boolean. Okay. I got you now. Now what? Guys, stick around, man. We're looking at the Holy Grail here. Then put up arrow at low where it says up at close. Up arrow at low. Okay. Anything else? That's it? That's the Holy Grail? Was that easy? Well, now I want to do it on the actual Holy Grail one. Boolean up arrow at low. Okay. I want to change it to a better color too, just in case. The heck? Just these little arrows? Look, the arrow disappeared on a different time frame. I like how it says Holy Grail. No. Alright, so give me an example. Or let's just start scrolling through some stocks. Nice, nice. Do these, like, I guess, do they, I'm assuming they pop up in real time? Only on 1 minute chart it works. I mean, it's working on the other ones. I only saw one arrow there. Pops up at low of what? Like, what's it looking for? Do you even know how it works? You made it? You're not selling this thing for like $100 million? What about this one? I mean, I guess it did kind of go up first. Let's see. Even the high of that candle, 54. Up like 30 cents. You're the one that was talking about testing all those algos too, right? Trying to think of, does it work on like all stocks? What was the penny stock that went today? I mean, yeah, it eventually worked, but people probably would be stopping out right here. I'm just messing with you. Yeah, I guess scrolling out would have been better. I only have 1 day, 1 minute. Why does it work best on penny stocks? Like, what's the premise behind it? Like, how does it work? Explain to us. How's it work? So I know what I'm looking at here. What's one of the other penny stocks that worked? Because it made me money. I'm trying to think of the other ones that moved to. Somebody else give me a stock that moved today. One of the penny stocks. Look at SES. Yeah. I didn't get anything on SES. That was like no volume though. So it has something to do with volume. CRC, that was the one. That was the one. This one's kind of a fail. Kind of went right down. I mean, yeah, it went back up, but pre-market though, right? This one though, it kind of went up a little bit. Went up. This one was a good one. This one, oh, this is a fail. Found a fail, finally. I guess that's the 5%, right? Trying to prove your shit wrong. It seems to be working, not gonna lie. That's why I'm curious how it works. I like to know the ins and the outs of it. PCG, that's not a low floater though. This today? Yeah. So that was kind of a iffy one. Kind of went up and then tanked. This one was kind of consolidation. Oh, look at this. Tried to give us 2 signals and then it dumped on us. Ouchie. Ouchie, ouchie. 3 of them, really. Give us a bad example there. Guess if you go back to yesterday here, that would have been good. This would be something that would be nice if it worked on the daily. Kind of did over there, but PCG's not really a good stock to use stuff on because of what they're going through. Let's see. It's kind of a good one because most people probably had stop losses around this area. Well, kind of bounced right off of it. I'm assuming you only exclusively use it on the 1 minute. I'm not sharing it to anybody. I just want to know how it works. I mean, I guess if you want to be that secretive about it, you could just tell me via Twitter DM. I'm just curious. Yes to what? That it only works on the 1 minute? I'm looking for something that helps me with my swing trades. I wish I would have started doing the swing trades a little bit earlier because I totally would have bought Tesla. I told everybody Tesla under 200 was a steal. Look at this thing. Back up to 300. They, I mean, they're literally the future of cars. Like, I feel that way. When they were down here, I even told myself, I was like, man, I should try to buy some of this. And I just didn't. I said anything under 200. They actually got all the way down to 177. It's crazy. Just give us one tidbit of what it's looking for. I don't know if I can we go back that far? Yeah. I guess I can do. These are like 15 days. So let's see. 15. Well, one trend line. Get out of here. I did 15 days, didn't I? Why is it not going back? Oh, I'm an idiot. It scrolled out as far as it can go. That's why. Let me. There's no alerts. All the alerts are when it's going down. I mean, there's the one here, I guess, before the after hour move that it made. Does it have something to do with volume? Does it have something to do with previous something? Like I just want to know how somewhat how it works. I would never personally be able to trade something that somebody just gave me without knowing how it works. Has nothing to do with volume at all. It's a secret. I mean, obviously I can't figure it out because the way that you gave it to me. And I'm not going to try to. I'm not trying to impede on your strategy. I was just, if you were open to share anything about it, that's what I was getting at. I mean, it seems to work for the most part. I mean, here was not good examples. I mean, every time even it gives you the signal, I'm gonna say it gives you the signal live, right? Vincenzo. So it's like if you every time you saw that arrow pop up, I mean, technically it seems to go up, even if it's just a little bit. It's been rare that I've seen it not, but even then, it's like it gives you spots where there's obvious like resistance area or support levels that you would go off of, like this one right there. When it breaks, you just get out, kind of thing. No, you didn't, you liar. Let me scroll up. Is that when you were adding all those, or that all you were telling me to do was add all those EMAs and stuff like that? Let's see. 5 modified indicators. Is that what you're saying? Like this is 5 modified indicators built into an arrow? I'm gonna show you a hot bottom tick. That was it. I think you said write it down, but then you didn't actually tell me what it was. And then you just DM'd it to me. Just 2. So it's 2 of those EMAs or whatever together. So it's the 8 and the 21 cross is what you're saying. So every time the 8 and the 21 cross is what it is. Boom. I figured it out. But that wouldn't make sense on these though. Why would the 8 and the 21 wouldn't cross here, would it? I did scroll up. That's the only thing I can, if it's only 2 of them, I feel like you kept saying the 8 and the 21 EMA crossover. So no, it's not the 8 and the 21. The 1-3. The 1-3 EMA crossover. Create a study of what I told you. 1-3 EMA crossover under 855.34 oversold level. So it's those 2 combined. Or is it just the when the RSI gets to that point and when the 1-3 EMA crossover happens? Let's see. Let's see if that adds up. Bingo. Study, add study. God, I don't know why it keeps popping up there. EMA. One. What? This is not. Is it? I thought it was. Which EMA is it? Is it the? No. Which EMA is it? Is it the displaced EMA? Yeah, that's what I thought it was exponential, but I'm not seeing. Oh, you actually have to move it. Oh, that's why they have it in there just separately. Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, this is not the right thing. That makes more sense. Okay, so 2 of those. The 1. And the 3. Getting in the alligator territory. Yeah, crosses right there, right towards the top. So pretty much every time it gives you the arrow, it's going to be at the top of that candle. I was kind of curious of that too. Because when it crosses, it's using, so you're using previous candles, but it's just the past 3 candles essentially. And then you're looking for 1 candle to go back above it. See, I'd be more interested in this to the downside. You could reverse it. Which, I mean, I guess if you sat here and were scrolled in on these, you could essentially find them that way. Like right there. I should change the colors, make them a little bit easier to see. Do green for the 1, do red for the 3. So like right there would be an arrow. Well, I don't know because you're also involving the RSI too, right? Let's see, add study, RSI. And then what was it? 8, 55, 34. All right, let's find some arrows. So this one crosses, right, while it's down here. Okay, so the parameter is you're looking for the 1 to cross the 3 while it's in oversold territory. Is it a certain level? Like, are you looking for below like 20 or is it just below 34? I guess that's a good question. With close. See, now you're getting into crazy stuff. Well, I wouldn't say crazy, but you're just getting into too much. I guess I could figure this out myself if I really wanted to. Because here, so again, yeah, we're down here. Looks like under 10. Let's see here. What's this arrow? What's this? What's this? We're like in oversold territory here. Does it not work in the pre-market after hours? Well, so this one, so maybe it is just below the 34 line. This one doesn't even look like it's below. It's like right in it. It's up in the top. I just can't tell you. When I was looking at RSI back in the day, I can't tell you how many times where you'd see the RSI come up like this, and sometimes it'll literally just go sideways when it's at the top. And it'll just keep going up and up and up and up. So yeah, it's just below 34. Let's see, XNet. Let me turn some more music on here. Alright, what are we looking at with XNet here? I guess it was kind of still below there. To the downside. So technically it wouldn't have triggered until right here. But that's the other thing too, is when I used to back test the alligator indicators, which were the 3, the 6, and the 7. When the 3 would cross the 6, a lot of times it wasn't actually crossing until almost like the next candle. So sometimes, like, yeah, it looks like it's crossing here, but it's not actually crossing until like almost the bottom of this candle. So it's very deceiving because in hindsight, it looks like it was on this candle. And sometimes even if it was on this candle, it might have been at the bottom of this candle. So it's very deceiving looking at it like that. It's not that it's lagging, it's just using previous candles to make these lines. So that's why it's hard to see them. I'm not saying your arrows would lag, but I'm just saying it's obviously using previous candles. The only reason I can say this with confidence is because I used to trade this way. I'm not saying it's a bad way to trade. I'm just saying, like, even like over here, like you have one which could have been alerted as this crossed right at the top of the candle, and then look, it immediately got shut down. I mean, granted, this range is only like 5 cents, but I'm just saying, obviously that's probably not a trade you would take anyway. You're not going to take every trade just because it alerts you. Can you actually have this alert you every time it goes off? That'd be pretty cool. I never actually looked into that. If you could have it alert you when it makes a custom scanner. That's pretty cool. That's true, Kevin. Like, if you get in, like on any random one, it's like, are you getting in just because it alerts you? And then it's like, do you just set the stop? Like, or do you like bring the chart up? Because like in this case, this is actually a pretty good example. It's like, where would your stop loss be on this one? Let's see if we can do this. So like right now it gives you the alert, right? This is the right side of our chart. What are we doing here? Right? I mean, we have, I guess we have a support level here. Not really. Oh, I'm on trend line. Draw the line, man. So it's like, are you using that as a stop? Are you using this as a stop, which is a really tight stop? Are you using this as a stop? Like there's, it's kind of an interesting one. All right, go to Bimmy. Looking from Bimmy at today. So let's, what do you mean you don't use stops? All right, so that's what we're looking at. What are we doing here? Some crap ass volume, by the way. I feel like on the 1 minute chart, this would not be a good thing though, because it's like you can have just one strong candle, right, to create that crossover. I just like to trade it, go back to the other days when it ran. Yeah, I figured that's what you meant. I mean, this kind of goes up and down a lot. It's the run this thing made is crazy. So this is actually a good day. So yeah, I mean, this one was nice. Let's see. So alerted here, definitely oversold territory on the RSI. Same over here. One crosses the 3. I still feel like you would need to have some kind of a plan though, right? You gotta have some kind of a plan. I mean, that was definitely a nice move though. Because you have to figure, let's just zoom in a little bit on this one. I mean, look at when it crosses. It actually crosses kind of going into this candle. So the odds are it alerted us at the top of this candle. So at 387, and this thing got shut down to 370 area before continuing. But I mean, you could just use your stop loss. I mean, if I was trading this, that's what I'd be doing. If I was getting in, I'd be looking to just get in or get out. Either it works or it doesn't work, kind of thing. So that way you're taking small losses, or you're looking to ride this thing way up. 80K on paper, I'm assuming. Yeah. So if you're making 80K on a trade, you wouldn't be sitting here talking to us, let alone showing us this. I mean, do you have that mentality? Are you, like, when you get in, are you basically setting a stop loss kind of under the recent support that it's set? And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work? Or like, what's that? You got to have some type of plan there. Because, I mean, if this turns over, like if you get in here at 390, 389, and it turns over and fails this 360 area, I mean, the odds are it's going to continue down, right? You would almost have to get out there. When it closes below the signal, What do you mean? It did. It closed below the signal on two. On like in this case, it closed below the signal on 2 candles. You're saying close below the signal candle. So in this case, 362. So that is a stop. What are you that's a stop loss, man. That's what a stop loss is. It's like if we go over here, so this candle. So so you would have stopped out on this one? Is that what you're saying? Because the low of this candle was 729, and then this one closed at 720. This one closed at 710, and then it ultimately ended up working though. But you would have stopped out on this one? You're killing me. Where was that? Is it this one? Yeah. I just wanted to check something. Didn't I change? I did. Why is it? Yeah, I don't know. I would have been a little iffy on that one. This one I probably would have been like, oh, okay. Well, this one you can't really even do because at the time this would be like this. But then over time it kind of creates this one. Like I would have definitely used this one for later in the day. That would have looked a little iffy to me, like it was going to come back down. Yeah, I kind of agree with Kevin there. You definitely, again, we've went over probability so far and we went over consistency. Maybe the one we'll go over next week is risk management. Because yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, but that's still very dangerous. I mean, you at least have to have like a stop here. Right? Like, I mean, if you're getting in here, from what you told me, you were saying the candle where it closes, if something closed underneath, you're getting stopped out. But, I mean, in this case, like I said, you can see that it came down, it kind of popped back up, then gave you the signal. You could always just use the bottom of that support there. Are you always using the same share size? And your max loss is 40 cents all the time. Okay, so I can't be upset with that. If that's always the case, then I can't be too upset with that because you have a set risk. So if you know what your set risk is, then so be it. Can't be upset with that. And I'm not gonna lie, I mean, scrolling through this, most of the time when you see an alert, it does go up. Do you have a risk reward? Are you looking for 2 to 1? Like, what are you looking for? You've never lost over 40 cents? I thought you said you were 95%. Now you're gonna make me prove you wrong. I mean, this one's 40 cents right here. Yeah, the close of this candle was 669, the low. Close of this candle, what was it? 69? It gets all the way down here to 605. That's the beauty of this drink too, by the way, is you don't taste the alcohol, and I'm starting to feel it. I mean, 25% of this glass, I mean, look how big the glass is. It's like the size of my hand, is rum. And then 25% is that 45 proof blue curacao. It's not a light drink, but it sure tastes like it's not. Wrong what? That this isn't a stop out? Or wrong that I'm not feeling it? Alright, I'll appease you one last time. Oh, I'm not going to go through all this. What am I doing? Make it easy. Can you guys can you hear the music, by the way? Yeah, I guess you can. Let's go. Condition wizard. All right. It's crazy because I feel like I have it all the way down. Oh, maybe not. There we go. Add new condition. Add, there we go. Now, Vincenzo, is it perfect? Because I literally think that's as low as I can go. Well, not that. Oh, I can't please everybody. Maybe Tom just has sensitive ears. Is it too low now? I mean, it sounds fine to me, but there is no moving average crossover. Study, I guess I moving average crossover. Put 821. Crosses. Like that. Exponential. Yeah, I guess I do have to change that. Crosses below. As value. When do I put in value? Oh, as value. Gotcha. Am I doing above or below? What am I doing? Are we making this for when I said it'd be cool to see it going the other way? Above? Okay. So just like this? We adding anything else? So this is just going to show us an error every time the 8 and the 21 cross? Do I still got it? Oh yeah. We're almost into Saturday.
Let me feel your love again. 'Cause I've been running round in circles, screaming out your name. Take me to a different place. Just the two of us, and we can stay up all night. Kissing under streetlights, doing what we want to, doing what we need to do. Staying up all night, everything is alright. Oh, I wanna be with you. Oh, I wanna be with you. Let me be that someone who can hold your hand. I don't even know if you can understand how you make me feel like
Did I miss change current type to last? Did I miss that part? Move exponential. I feel like I want to go upstairs and wake my wife up after this drink. Oh, this is the other one you were talking about. You seriously can't type it? No joke. Oh, I hit save. Do I need to change anything else? Change current type to last. Oh, here we go. Okay. The 8/21/50 cross. Oh, it already added it. Oh, yeah. So what is the Boolean? Is that just changing it to the arrows? Is that what that is? Yeah. Draw as up arrow at low. Same as the other one. Let's make this one pink. Yeah, that happens a lot more often. It's like a lot of signals. Like, that's crazy. Look at that. It's just going sideways. I guess it would really, you'd really only be looking for it on ones that were moving though. Wouldn't necessarily be looking at it for ones consolidating sideways. What's another stock? What's the stock that had good volume today? What was the one that had all the volume? Yeah, I mean, this isn't really what I look for nowadays, but I can see how it works. I mean, a lot of people play the crossovers. And the RSI and the MACD and all that good stuff. I don't feel like pulling up the scanners just to see what had all the good volume today. I'm trying to remember. I know IC was the one that was going off a lot. What was the one that had like millions? I mean, we could always check out AMD. So AMD was doing well with it 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and then this 5th time it kind of faked us out and kind of went sideways the rest of the day. Hey, Facebook really took a dump, huh? Look at the SPY, man. I didn't even realize that we were that high today on the SPY. Just making all-time highs. Loving it. I'm loving it. Trying to impeach the president, but the market's at all-time highs. Love it. Well, Boyts, appreciate the input there, man. I actually kind of like the first one a little bit better. It seems to do a little bit better, to be honest. Which is weird because I would think that the 8 and the 21 would be more efficient because it has more data to work off of. But surprisingly, the 1 and the 3 do pretty well. I'd be very curious to see how a lot of them work on the dailies. This is something I feel like I wouldn't really use during the day unless it like corresponded with some good support resistance. Well, this whole, I'm short biased. Why would you not give me those? You silly goose. You silly goose. I don't know if I could take it. Just explain. Is it using EMAs too? Is it based off momentum? Intensity, because that's really what I'm after. Yes, it's based on the EMAs. Just realized that that's not the daily. Oh, look at that fake out. Look at that one. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Let's go. Does anybody else have any questions? Anybody? I feel like my lighting is getting a little weird. I don't know what this is going to do. There we go. Put that there for now, so I don't look as funny. Well, are you going to tell me, or am I going to have to beat it out of you before I get out of here? Speaking of, this is what I chose Webull for my, or I told you guys that already, I think. Did they actually include a MA on here? Was it the MA5? Whatever that is. I had this up because GDT's last swing trade, I think he took it somewhere in here, and then it did this after earnings. It stopped him out. I was like, whoops. Go, SPY, go. Well, does anybody else have any questions? You should, Boyts, you should DM me the short ones. And I'll have to add them and look at them later. Maybe it's something we can talk about on the next one. My drink is gone. I'm getting pretty tired. I have a cut like in between my big toe and my toe that's next to my big toe. What do you call that toe? Your pointer toe? I don't even know what you call that, to be honest. It freaking hurts. Anybody have any questions before we go? If not, I'm going to get out of here. Appreciate you guys for stopping by. We do this every Friday night. We try to pick a subject. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we just do free-for-alls. I'm thinking next Friday maybe we'll try to do something on risk management. We shall see. I have a video that I actually did on probabilities. It's a really good video. You should go check that out. It's just on my page. It wasn't a Friday night live stream. You can probably, let's see. You can probably just go to my page, search probabilities. I spell it wrong. Yeah. I'm tired. There it is. It was actually, I thought this was actually a really good video that I made, and it didn't really kind of take off, but it's a good one. You guys are looking for like the probabilistic nature of trading. That'd be a good way to do it. But yeah, Tom, thanks for tuning in, man. Hopefully that was somewhat interesting after the consistency talk. Felt like it went pretty well. Boyd's kind of took control. It's cool. I love going over other people's strategies. It lets me know what other people are looking at. And so when I'm trading my strategy, if it at all plays into somebody else's strategy, it's something to look for, right? If I'm looking to exit, like I said with Jared from Live Traders all the time, he's looking to start positions sometimes where I'm looking to exit my trades. So, you know, it's valuable to know how everybody's thinking. But with that said, if you're here still and you haven't liked the video, go ahead and do that. I don't really think it matters for the live streams, but it just lets me know that you like me a little bit, just a little bit. But to let me know that you like me even more, if you're not subscribed, hit subscribe. I know still like 60% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed. It hurts my feelings just a little bit. Would love for you guys to subscribe, hit the little notification bell so you know when we go live, post a new video, all that good stuff. And I'm going to get out of here. So appreciate you guys stopping by. We're here again every Friday. And now we're doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I actually got some good news that my oldest son might be getting full-time for his schooling right now, starting in January instead of February. So that could be good for our trading as well as our live streams in the morning. So maybe we'll get a little bit more consistent with those, as well as not dealing with the chaotic stuff on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So with that said, guys, have a great weekend. I seriously mean that. Spend it with family. Go do something awesome. Hopefully it's not too cold there yet, like it's starting to get here. We're in the month of Thanksgiving, so I love to just really, Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays of the year because I'm very big into family. I'm Italian. I have a huge family. We spend time with, that's pretty much what we do in our spare time. We're all about family here. So, and now you guys, to me, you know, I don't want to get too cliche about this, but, you know, I consider you guys my trading family. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything, always feel free to hit me up. Discord is the best way to do it. Twitter works as well. Always happy to help if I can. And as you can see with Boyts, if I don't know the answer, if it's something new, educate me. I'm not claiming to be a guru that is better than you. It's not who I am. I'm also not sitting here selling you anything. I'm here to learn just as much as you are. So let's just do it together. Let's figure out a way to beat the market, and let's just do it. We're all going to have different ways of doing it, but if we can all get there together, let's do it, right? We always have somebody to talk to, always somebody to bounce ideas off of. That's the whole point of these. When we get to the free-for-alls, that's how we do it. You might like my Chewbacca. Maybe I'll watch that as I get in the bed. It'll calm me down a little bit. But with that said, guys, again, have a great weekend, and I will see you Monday morning. Peace.